Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel. Thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Chronoswiss Pacific Automatic. You can see the stainless steel automatic Chronoswiss and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional high resolution images, accessories included in the sale, and of course complete pricing information for this Chronoswiss Pacific. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the Chronoswiss Pacific is a handsome vintage-inspired watch that's executed solidly within the bounds of modern preferences for large dimensions. So the watch has a lot of features that are essentially distinctive of Chronoswiss. You can see the long, straight lugs. They're straight from overhead. They taper in teardrop fashion from the side. They're fixed with screws, not spring bars. It's the more secure way of fastening a large and heavy watch to the wrist. You can see the vertical striation of the satin finish of the case flanks, and you can see that the watch, although broad, 43 millimeters across the round of the case, is nevertheless quite flat on the wrist. So 43 millimeters across, not including the crown. The watch is only 12 millimeters thick, and you'll note the incredible drama of that sloped and dramatically oversized sapphire crystal. Its purpose is to evoke the distortion effects of vintage plexiglass, but because of the way it's shaped, also the step of the conical bezel, it easily allows a tight sleeve to ride up and over this watch. So this is an excellent companion for formal attire, even very tight and close-hewn cuffs. You're going to wear them well with this watch. Now from lug to lug, it is large, 53 millimeters. However, you can see because of the slope and the curve of those lugs, they bend around the wrist rather than projecting out and creating an awkward appearance. Even though my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, I would say despite the size of this watch, lug to lug, you can still wear it with a sense of elegance and proportion on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters in circumference. Now just for perspective, 53 millimeters lug to lug is about what you get from a 44 millimeter traditional case Panerai Luminor. That's 53 millimeters 0.5 across the wrist. This is 53 period. So now that you have a sense of scale, take a look at the case itself and the strap that's equipped with it. Now again, the idea of this watch is vintage cues in modern size, and that obtains on the strap. You can see it's dramatically bolstered down the center, supple calfskin with a contrasting stitch. There's a slight patination effect to the thread. It's almost as though it has a slight ecru dye to it to create that vintage look, and it's paired with a handsome and easily adjustable Chronoswiss pin buckle, again for the vintage effect and easy adjustability on the fly. Now the case, as I mentioned, has many handsome facets and details. You can see the polished bezel, which falls quite short of the cap of that sapphire. You can see the faceting of the sapphire and just how deep that is. You can see the gentle brushed finish of the case flanks, vertical, not horizontal. The contrast between the polished lug hoods, the satin sides, and the polished screws fixing the bars in place. You'll also note that the watch features, again, a very traditional dial style, but in a modern size. There's a dramatic slope down from the Rehot, which features 60 seconds and minutes, and then inboard there's an hour track that has a little bit of a striation effect like that of the older Omega DeVille hour visions. With all applied indices, the watch dial is fully loomed. Each one of the hour stations has a loomed Luminova application outboard of the applied index itself, and the hands at center do glow, so you can easily view this light or this watch in low or no light conditions. I'll also mention that the watch features hacking seconds when you pull the crown to extremity, and we can move the minute hand out of the way so you can also see the date window, which benefits from a quick set feature. This is an interesting watch because it came out toward the end of 2010, and that was sort of the tail end of the Gerd Rudiger Lang era at Chronoswiss. He founded the company in 1983, and he sold out to the Epstein couple, who now run the company out of Lucerne, in 2012. So this was a transitional period, and this was one of the last watches to be released under the guidance of the original owner and creative guiding light of the company. On the case back, you can see the caliber itself. Now this is what Chronoswiss calls a 2723. I call it an ETA 2892A2. Very simple 21 joule bidirectional automatic winding. I mentioned that it features hacking seconds, and you can see to good effect that when I hack the balance, it is a high quality balance of the type featured in the top and chronometer grades of the 2892. I'll also note that the movement is adjusted in 5 positions, so with the combination of the high grade balance and hairspring and 5 position adjustment, superb precision is built into this watch. Moreover, it has a surprising water resistance of 100 meters, which frankly you don't expect in a watch of this style, but which adds tremendous versatility if you were to put the watch on a textile strap such as a NATO. Now, I should also mention that the finishing is fairly handsome with a Chronoswiss rotor and an unusual application of perlage across the bridges rather than simply the plate. This is a handsome watch and definitely off the beaten path of dress watches. It's one part sporty, one part dress, and with a great story, of course, that of Chronoswiss and its independent horology pioneering during the 80s and 90s. You have an off-the-radar brand that's respected by enthusiasts and always brings a smile at watch club and red bar meetings. You can see and you can purchase this handsome end of an era Chronoswiss Pacific Automatic on our website.